2005, Disney released a terrible film called Chicken Little. And during this time period, every single film had to get a video game, and Chicken Little was no exception. However, you might be surprised to say that the video game is actually not bad. In fact, I'd say it's fun. Nothing too spectacular. However, compared to its terrible movie it's based on, it's pretty much better in every single way. I reviewed this game way in the past when I was like a teenager, and it kind of sucked, and I didn't even beat the game. So yeah, now I have beat the game, and now we're going to showcase the entire game. So if you're interested in this game, let me know by watching the video. So the game is basically a 3D platformer where you have a basic set of action, basically just go to the end of the level. However, each level there's slightly different mechanics here. For the most part, you'll be playing in a nice 3D level, which are the best levels in the game. Though sometimes there are chase levels that aren't that great, and this weird baseball minigame. Like, what's going on here? Even though the main mechanics work fine, this game loves throwing out a bunch of weird side things. Like there's driving missions, space shooters, and mech stages, so there's quite a lot in this game. But for the most part, you'll be doing platforming, and like I said, the platforming isn't bad in this game. In fact, it controls pretty well. You got basic movements, like your jumping, your double jump, and attack, which is a yo-yo, which is apparently strong. There's not a whole lot of enemies to attack it with, other than these weird chicken little robots that some reason exist. But you can do some pretty cool exploration stuff, like climbing up poles and swinging on them, as well as doing like nice balancing stuff. You know, the balancing is automatic, it doesn't really matter. In the later levels, you do get more moves, like you can get to swing across stuff, which works well. It flows pretty well, so that's good. And the last thing you get is a slingshot ability, which allows you to shoot at targets, which, you know, that's always nice to have. It's not that great, but you don't need to use it that much, other than the final boss. And yes, there's only one boss in the game, which is the final boss, which isn't the final level like I thought when I first reviewed this way back in the day. So yeah, you're basically playing through the movie, in case you're wondering, and, well, mostly for the movie. They actually cut out certain scenes. In fact, some really bad scenes are basically cut out in the movie entirely. And there are in-game cutscenes which have the actors, I believe, for the movie, at least it sounds like that to me. But they still force you to watch clips from the movie, which are always worse than the actual in-game cutscenes.
I had a run-in with my old nemesis.
It's kind of funny. Actually, the worst part of the game is the movie scene. It's pretty bad. The plot of the game still has a lot of problems from the movie. It cuts out a lot of the filler and junk that was in the original movie. There's like no boring crap or the town is just assholes. And they are assholes, but not additionally. It just keeps going on and makes the dad, Buckluck, less of a jackass like he is in the movie. So that's always good to see. And pretty much all the levels are also these playing cards, these baseball cards that you can collect. Now, don't expect anything special out of them. There's just 5 of them in each level, and yeah, they do nothing. I was going to collect them all, but then I couldn't even look at them, so what was the point of that? Why would you even make them a card if you're not even going to have a nice, unique things on them, but whatever. So might as well go through the levels now that I talked about most of the basics here. The first level takes place around the schoolyard, where you have to collect coins around here, as well as navigate to school at first in order to buy a soda, which allows you to go into the class. And this RA level gives you acquainted with the controls, and there's a lot of places to explore, and it's well designed. And the music's fun too, I like it. So this is a pretty good first introductory level. It actually, compared to some other licensed game, you'll be like, hey, this is actually kind of fun. It makes you want to play the rest of the game. It actually has pretty good pacing too, for the most part. By the next level segment, you'll experience one of the things this game loves a lot, which are these endless runner-like stages that if you fail, you have to go all the way back if you die. Sometimes they get a lot worse later on. Now, it's not too bad when you start out with. It's pretty basic, but having to redo sections over and over again is not that fun, and I can see kids failing. I did fail this when I was a kid, because I did play this as a child, but I did get past this. Then you have a dodgeball mode, which would have been fun if they added multiplayer for additional mode, but this game doesn't have any additional things to look at, which kind of sucks. You can replay levels, but if they wanted additional features in the game, they could have done it. It's pretty basic. You pick up a ball, and it's just dodgeball, alright? That's it. And then next level, you're getting chased by this weird, ugly-ass goose bitch who, for some reason, is a psycho. She's got dead eyes, and this level is kind of jank, to be honest. It's not very well designed. And there's even puddles you can barely see with the 6th generation graphics here. The graphically, the game doesn't look terrible. It matches the really bad art style of the movie. Well, I think the design of the sets in the movie aren't bad. The character designs, a lot of the characters are fucking disgusting, like this goose bitch here. And yeah, this level is kind of weird. I don't know how to describe it yet. It's just very slippery and annoying. Anyway, after that, we get another standard platforming level where you get to explore the city here, which is pretty fun. You even get to go to a movie theater at one point. You're just looking for your baseball uniform because for some reason the bitch cock blocks you and steals your uniform. What a bitch. There isn't that much to explore in this town other than, like I said, the movie theater, and I guess you can climb up this tree. Other than that, it's pretty generic. By the way, that guy's car back there is ugly as hell. The baseball mechanics of this game are kind of weird. It's like a rhythm game where you have to match it up to the plate and then get a hit. It's pretty easy, but as a kid, I struggled with this because I guess I was really good at timing. I guess it's something you get better when you're an adult. But, yeah, this game is super easy, and it's kind of weird. Like, this is what you choose to do for a baseball game? Okay. Well, I guess the baseball was a big part of the movie for some reason. It's not really a big part of it, actually. It just was a big section that it's never mentioned again. But, hey, I guess they had to put it in. And, yeah, the pig does a dumb dance. Wow. And then during the game, this crowd has a seizure as this random acorn guy does it. And this is also about the same thing. It's easy. What happened to his dad, by the way? What happened to him? He just disappeared from the scene. After that, we get our first driving mission where the characters are like, oh, I gotta take a dump, so drive me back to my house so I can piss in the woods or something like that. That's basically what it is. They're supposed to be helping out their friend, but they're too busy, like, fucking around, being jackasses. You can destroy the town. It's kind of fun, and some of the mission side little things here have a time limit. It's basically like Crazy Taxi, except nowhere near as good. But it doesn't control bad. It's okay. You then get another standard platforming level where you're running through the backyard trying to get back to this alien ship because aliens are involved. As you know, if you know the movie, there's aliens. Don't ask. Oh, and for some reason, if you want to get in the ship, you have to play a game, an alien shooter simulator. You play a lot of these repetitive space shooting missions after this point too, so get used to this. You have missiles that are stronger, and yeah, and you can speed up too. They're fine, just the way the graphics are and the way it's set up makes it harder to see what exactly you're looking at sometimes, which is not very good. Well, that's life. And when you get in the spaceship, you get to play as Chicken Little's fuck buddy, Abby, the duck. For some reason, I probably will talk about this when I get in the movie, but for some reason, Chicken Little and the Ugly Duckling got gender swapped. Chicken Little's supposed to be female, and Ugly Duckling's supposed to be male, but whatever, they swapped their genders, don't ask me why. This is also where you get introduced to these terrible mech stages, where it's just very tank-like, and you gotta keep shooting these things over and over again that respawn because they want you to grab them and shoot them around. It's really bad, and they're the end of the game. It's not really fun, it's very slow-paced and kind of monotonous, so I don't really like these sections. Unfortunately, I do go for 3, and the last one is very annoying. And while you don't play as Chicken Little's a fuck buddy that much in the game, she doesn't control that well, unfortunately. Even though it seems like she would, like, oh, she can fly a bit, but she's like janky. I guess they didn't iron out her controls that well. It is kind of weird that this is the only section of the game where he plays this character, and other than that, it never reappears again. So I don't know what the point was. Oh, so the fat fucking pig gets his head stuck in a thing, and now he's running through hallways. Don't ask. You already can guess what this gameplay style is like anyway. And after that, we get to play as Chicken Little inside the spaceship. This is where the game gets a little repetitive, because at first the spaceship is a unique setting compared to what we've been to. But however, they repeat a lot of the same stuff from the previous levels, like with the Abby character, and even later on, we're going to see more of the same layouts of this spaceship, where it's very repetitive and you're going for some of the same rooms, which is a shame since before in the game, there wasn't any repetition like that. It was every level felt kind of fresh, platforming-wise. It's not terrible, it is just very monotonous. But hey, at least you can shoot the probes with a lightning blast. It sucks. And then you get another space shooter. And this tube minigame where you're sliding down a tube. It's not bad, but because of the way you can shoot stuff too, that gets in your way, and you can't see what's up ahead unless you remember it. And if you fail here, you have to do it again. Luckily, this one has checkpoints. Though still, it can be pretty annoying. Alright, we're finally out the spaceship, and we gotta save our friend from all these alien stuff. This is a fun level since it uses unique mechanics, and we're not in the same spaceship thing doing the same little segments over and over again. So we're actually doing something interesting here, and I kind of like the aesthetic, so I like this level. This is where the game takes a big divergence from the movie, because when you ring the bell, the aliens are still attacking, and there's no weird, oh, you're a liar, you dumbass kid, which was really terrible in the movie, so instead we just go on to more of the movie, which apparently is the mayor shooting cannons at aliens. This part is kind of confusing, because what the fuck, I don't even remember this happening in the movie, maybe it did, who the hell knows, but at the same time, why would they make this part of the game? It controls like absolute ass, and this took me way longer than it should have. It's not fun at all. Fuck this turkey lurkey fucker. So yeah, the movie kind of speeds up here. It goes straight to the end. I guess they want all that filler stuff for Chicken Little's crying and about to kill himself. Yeah, that happened. You remember he was about to tie the noose, but then he's like, I gotta return this baby alien back. So now they're like, oh, let's go, and the Chicken Little's dad's hanging on for dear life. Unfortunately for him, I'm going to try to kill him, so we're going to crash the car, and he's going to jump out. Unfortunately, he holds on pretty tight, so he can't die. But yeah, you gotta chase the car. This one, not the car, the alien ship. This level is kind of annoying since it's got a tight timer, and if you fail once, you fail again. So there's a lot of trial and error. Of course, if you fail once, you fail again. No, this is one of those things where you do every little thing over and over again, and it can be annoying. Then we get another tube thing. This time we're the fat pig. Lovely. Then you go back in an alien spaceship, and you're doing basically what you already did before. Just the same type of mechanics. The tank ones, everything feels the same, except slightly harder, but it doesn't really make it fun, just more annoying than anything else. Having to deal with throwing these stupid probes around is one of the worst experiences I ever experienced playing a game. Yeah, this level goes on for a while, and for the most part, it just most of the same things we've seen in the previous levels, so it's not very exciting or interesting. There is this anti-gravity room. That's kind of cool, but it's a very short part of the game, so it doesn't really matter. And then we're doing another space shooter simulator. These don't even make sense in the context of the game, because we're never actually flying these spaceships. We're just playing a little thing for some reason. Okay, I guess they thought, let's have a space shooter here. Like I said, these aren't that great, they're not that interesting, so why bother? Alright, we're on the final boss. Obviously, this is the end of the game. I got stuck on this when I first played it, but this time I'm not. Essentially, all you gotta do is use your slingshot to hit the targets. Now, as it goes on for the 3 phases, which luckily each phase is a checkpoint, so I don't know why I didn't do this when I first played it, when I was like 15 or something, or I was probably stupid, and then you just hit the little dildo thing that comes out. It's pretty basic, though it is kind of annoying, and the slingshot doesn't control that well, especially when you're trying to dodge attacks. But other than that, it's more, it's nothing too terrible, but, you can do it. So after 10 years of saying, oh, I can't do it, it's too hard, like a little bitch I was, I finally defeated the boss. Well, whoever's playing the footage. I beat the game on my GameCube, but I didn't record it because I don't have a capture card, but who cares. So that's the end of the game, and what the hell is this? So randomly the fat pig's like, we have to drive out as fast as possible because we're all going to die, even though the cutscene before showcased that's not the case. So now you're doing this driving minigame where you're just driving as fast as possible to get out of the alien spaceship, and this is just bizarre, because one, narratively speaking, there's no reason to do this. It's not even in the fucking movie, and it controls like absolute shit. The way the fire truck works is that if it gets hit slightly, you get fucked up pretty bad. Like this truck, it just controls like ass. But yeah, it does not getting hit by certain things, and there's really no good braking or drifting, and if you fail certain jumps, could look janky, you can fail easily. I was lucky to get this on when I retried it after I failed multiple times, and when I went back to it, I did it in one try. But it's still not very fun to do. Why is this after the final boss? Like, what were they thinking? But okay, they crashed and died, and yeah, there you go, the end of the game. Wait, what the fuck is this? Oh, we had to play through the fucking movie at the end. Yeah, Chicken Little had a movie at the end, and now this is the final level. There's not even a final boss either. You're just doing a space shooter level. Like, why did they... There's, like, no narrative reason to keep playing after this point. Why would they make this the final level? It makes no fucking sense. So it ends with Chicken Little becoming a movie star. Wow. The movie aspect of the original movie makes no sense. Like, why would they make a movie about Chicken Little double time? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Whatever. Apparently it doesn't age in between movies either. Whatever. Fuck it. That was a home console release of Chicken Little for the GameCube, PlayStation 2, and Xbox. Well, PC too. It's one of those games that, if you haven't played as a kid, you probably won't care for it, but if you want something different, I don't think it's a very expensive game, so you might as well go check it out if you want it. It's fun at moments, but it has some annoying parts. It's not a bad licensed game, however, it could have been better. But for what the movie was and how not bad the game is, it's saying something. Hey, did you know I have a book? In fact, I have multiple books. They're available on Amazon. There should be a link in the description. However, I do have the digital versions on my Patreon, so if you want to support me and read what I have written, they're mostly kids' books, but you might enjoy it. After all, we all like SpongeBob, or whatever your video you're watching. I might reuse this clip. Then you can make sure to check it out. And thank you.